Welcome back, grubbers. It's good to have you here on this fine day. I hope it finds you well. If you wonder why I'm holding an electronic pressure cooker in my lap, it's a good reason for it. We've got a two-part episode today. And the first part is to pressure cook a beautiful corned beef brisket. And I hope you're a fan of corned beef. Not everybody is. It's kind of related to, well, it's not related to ham, but some people feel that it tastes like ham, and they don't like ham. I don't agree. It's a beautiful meat, and we're gonna brisket a gorgeous chunk, about 2 pounds. That's phase one. There's an ulterior motive. The reason we're doing that. Now you can eat it naked. You can eat it naked, and it's just beautiful. You can slice it, a little mustard, and just nibble. It's total keto, so you can eat like a pound of it. But that's phase one. Phase two, we're gonna make classical grilled Reuben, which of course has spiral rye bread, Thousand Island dressing, little kraut, beautiful corned beef, and of course Swiss cheese, grilled in butter in the pan. That's phase two. So there's an A and a B here. Now, our pressure cooker, of course, is one of our great friends, loyal buddies, big producer. We call him R2D2. So he looks like R2D2. He's a hefty one. But that's a sign of quality. And in R2D2, I hope that resonates. There's a strange bird out there. I haven't seen one of those. It's a pterodactyl. What's that?
This would be good for Finn because it doesn't have a squirter.
Great. We'll put it in Finn. That's a great idea, babe. Hand sanitizer. She wants me to put it in the car. Whatever. Fine. Dear wife, she's always thinking about the microbes. Anyway, R2D2, Star Wars era. You don't know what that is, you probably haven't been on planet Earth in the last 40 years. But anyway, he looks like it. He performs like it. Doesn't talk though, which is a big plus. And we're going to use him for the corned beef brisket. It's about 70 minutes. That'll be phase one. And then, really, frankly, the most fun is making that classic corned beef Reuben. So that's coming up next. Thanks for joining. We'll get to work here shortly. I gotta get this frickin' brick out of my lap. Boy, it's heavy. Quality. Oh, Jesus. You must admit that is one beautiful piece of brisket. See the little fat cap on the top? Gotta have a little fat. That gives you moisture, flavor, and also enhances the tenderness. Yeah, that's a beauty. So that's going in le pot. All ready to roll. Gorgeous. And just to help you remember, these are our ingredients. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got our spice packet that they pack with the corned beef brisket. I always throw in some garlic. I've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 cloves in there. Of course, with water, we got to have moisture. And then the star is this beautiful, beautiful brisket. Okay, that's the hard part right there. I've saved you the tedium of going through the removal of the brisket from the package and the chopping of a little garlic. But I did want to tell you, the brand of brisket that I favor is from Detroit. And it's made by Hans Grobel. I'm guessing he's German, or was German. 1883, I don't think he's around. But the point is, they've been making this brisket in Detroit forever. It's really good. I've had several over the last few years. It's fantastic. Why Detroit? Well, I live in an area in Southwest Florida that's heavily populated by Midwesterners. And I think the number one Midwesterner here is from Michigan. And last time I checked, Detroit was in Michigan. So the point is, the stores around here where you buy your provisions, they have a lot of regional brands from the Midwest. You want Detroit style pizza? They got a whole case of it down the street at Walmart. Anyway, enough of that. Grobel, get a good brisket. Make sure it's got some fat cap on it. Otherwise, you're done. So I have ours here, and I'm not going to lift it up because it's in a paper plate. It's got a little bit of liquid, and I'm sure it'll go all over the floor. Take my garlic and spice package, and I'm going to put them in the water. And that way we get very uniform distribution of flavors. It's easier. Okay, so got my trusty plastic knife, and I don't think you need to see this, but I'm just going to push the garlic, oh that smells mighty fine, into the water. And then I'm going to take my spice pack, which has, I don't know, a variety of spices. You can look it up. Dump that in, okay? We're almost finished. This is hard. Now, the tricky part is to get the brisket, which I don't know why I put it on a paper plate. I don't know if that's the smartest thing. I'm gonna just put it in here real, there we go, see? I got another mess to clean up. We're in a garage. It's always a mess. I think I'm gonna tend it if that's okay with you right now. I knew that was gonna happen. I'm learning. It takes time. Okay, I think we're okay. Now, we've got our brisket in here. I'm gonna move it around. And I put it fat cap up. Again, I'm not sure it makes an enormous amount of difference. Okay, step 2, liquid. This I know how to do. You dip it in way inside before you pour. If you pour outside, it flies all over the place. Empty. Okay. Final steps. You ready? Pressure cooker lid. And I practiced, so it's going to go right on. First time. I don't know if you can see this. It's not important really, but you put them in R2D2. You adjust the the valve so it's closed. This is 2 pounds. Very important. 35 minutes a pound. 35 times 2 is 70 minutes. So this is going to go on high for 70 minutes. Hit the button, go for a bike ride, take a nap, go for a swim, whatever you may desire. So let's get it going. High, time 70 minutes. It counts up slowly and then it's gonna fly, so I gotta be careful here. Concentration, 25, 30 minutes. When it hits 40, I think it starts doing by 10, 40, 50, 60. I wanna start that over. I did. What the, bear with me. Ready? Go. The little light on my Cuisinart R2D2 is blinking. And it's gonna blink until it gets up to pressure. Then it's gonna quit blinking and the countdown begins. So all in, if you've got some constraints on your time, I think it's a mailman. He's early today. He didn't stop. Unless you have constraints in your time, you've got to allow for probably 80 minutes because it's going to take about 10, I think, to get up to 10. So we're on. I'm going to go do something else. I'm certainly not going to sit here and watch a blinking pressure cooker. We'll be back. Someone crashed. So something to consider when you're boiling meat, and effectively, well, it's not effective. We are boiling meat. It's in a pressure cooker in liquid. It's going to boil for 70 minutes. So, you know, it's probably a method that was invented 1,000 years ago because people had probably bad meat, tough meat, rotten meat. They had to do something, and they had heat and they had liquid, so they boiled it. Okay, that's fine. It's going to be cooked. But when you boil meat, it's not going to be pretty, okay? It's not going to look good when you open the lid. It's not going to be like we're going to do a close-up and go, oh my gosh, isn't this like glorious? It's gonna look disgusting. But you have to get past that, because when you slice it and taste it, you will be blown away. Now, something I've thought about, but I haven't done yet, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna make a brisket in the R2D2, and then on very high heat, I'm gonna sear it at the end and brown it a bit. And it might make it more appealing. I don't know what it's gonna do to the flavor, but I'm gonna try it. And then if the grubbers wanna try it and let me know how it works, you can save me the hassle, okay? Hassle, that's an old school term. Now, at least on this brand of pressure cooker, Cuisinart, I don't know if you can see this very well, but the little dot, the red dot, well, it's funny, it's still blinking. I don't know what that means. Well, it's on 66 minutes, it was up. Well, it's just, it's about quality control, but the point is, you saw that little dot, it was blinking. It was good timing. It stopped blinking and it shows 66 minutes. So basically it was on 70. We're cooking. We'll see you in 66. Another pointer, when this finishes cooking, it's gonna go off. Now it stays on warm, but it's gonna beep 3 times really loud. It's gonna go off. And then what's gonna happen is something we call the natural release. The quick release is where if you take something like a spatula or maybe a crescent wrench, and you open the valve, immediately it's gonna blow out tons of steam. That's called a quick release. Now the lore is that if you do a quick release on meat, it will toughen it somehow. I don't know. I don't want to take a chance, because what I've been doing has been working beautifully. We're gonna let it do what we call a natural release. So it's gonna take 15-20 minutes, and the steam is eventually gonna naturally release through the valve. And then you'll hear this little click, at least on my machine. And the little click is the safety valve dropping, because now there's no pressure. It's been equalized with our atmosphere, and the little valve has dropped. Now you can literally open it without worry. It's not gonna blow steam. Well, if you opened it in front of your face, it would, but it's not gonna explode or anything. But you should open it away after the natural release. So we're gonna cook it here as we have been. It's now 62 minutes. We're gonna do a natural release when it shuts off. Just come back later. It's not a big deal. It's gonna stay warm, and then we will go to phase 2, which is to slice and taste. Slice and taste with a little mustard. Make sure it's tender and properly done. And then phase 2, the B of the A and B, we're gonna make a classic grilled Reuben. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Okay, grubbers, we're back, and we finished cooking, I don't know, 20 minutes ago or so. I left, I came back. I know we did a natural release, it's still warm. I turned it off. So now we're just gonna make sure there's still no pressure left, and we do that by just opening this valve. Nothing. Guess what? It's fully released. So we're gonna open the lid, and we're going to lift it away, because there's still steam. See this? Not much, little steam. Anyway. Now, be prepared for a very unappetizing looking thing. It's gonna be probably somewhat frightening. Yeah, it's pretty frightening. But don't be alarmed. This is basically what a big chunk of boiled meat looks like. Oh, it's trying to get away. That's corned beef, right out of the pot. So what I'm gonna do is remove it and put it in a pan and let it rest a bit. And then we're gonna slice some and do a little taste test with some yellow mustard. Oh, look at that. See that wiggle? That wiggle is a very, very good thing. That means it's properly cooked. Oh yeah. And again, this isn't, I know that appetizing, but that's what your brisket should look like. Still very hot, so we're gonna let it rest for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so. Then we're gonna come back and slice off a bit and with a dab of yellow mustard, see how we did. I covered this with foil. You know, we're in the garage here, and there's been known to be a fly or two in the area. In fact, I just got one, so I cover it, and no flies. So anyway, it's still really hot, but I think I can get a slice or two off, and then I have a little dipping mustard here. We'll see how we did. Ooh, that looks interesting right there. Ooh, look at that. I'm gonna take a dab off there. Of course, it's falling apart, which is a good thing. So I'm just gonna get a little mustard here and see how we did. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Now remember that fat cap? Remember how big it was? That's all that's left. And it just added moisture and flavor. And you can leave it on. I'm just kind of scraping a little bit. Anyway, let's take a slice and see just how we did here. Now you always slice on the bias, slice against the grain, never with the grain. Though corned beef is so tender, it doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of difference, but a little bit thin there. Okay, I think as a taste test, that's sufficient. So let's see how we did here. That little tip at the top was a pretty good indicator that it's very good. Okay, let's get a little mustard here. See how we did. Oh, you must be kidding. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to stop. This is so flavorful and so tender. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm telling you, this is gonna make an exceptional grilled Reuben, and I can't wait to do it. We're not gonna do it now because I'm busy with other things. But we have all our good Lord. That's suburbia for you. So we're gonna get back to this. Maybe tonight we'll make that Reuben. It'd be kind of fun to do that tonight. So anyway, that's how you do a corned beef brisket in a pressure cooker. And if you do nothing else, hey, there you have it. That's a beautiful thing. Thanks, grubbers. We will see you later tonight.